Dude, what's good?
Plenty of things are good, like food and like enjoyment, happiness. It's all good. Anything specific you're looking for?
You do realize when like a person who's never seen our podcast before listens to this, will probably think this is like some weird, like psych, psych
Psychological.
like physiology podcast. You realize like food, mate? What's good, yo? Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Star Talks. We're here on
Episode 12.
episode 12. Yes, thank you for that. Also, Jesus Christ, I'm so disoriented about this. Like, it's been so long since we actually recorded one of these. And wait, I'm gonna change. That did not. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you. Hi. What's good?
I told you plenty
Okay,
of things.
fine. We got that. We got it out of the way. Anyways, I have a lot to talk about this episode, and like, first off, it's been a long time, okay, since I checked like the Star Talks analytics from like iTunes and stuff, and it's weird. Like, you would expect most of our audience to be from India, right? It's true, but it's not the kind of composition you'd think it is. Wait, I'm gonna try to pull it up. It's like weird, man.
Are there people from like France listening to our podcast?
Okay, not France, but look at that. No joke, 40% from the United States.
What?
And we got Japan, we got Canada, we got Belgium, we got New Zealand, we got Australia, we got Netherlands, and Egypt.
I think New Zealand is just me using a VPN, but
Okay, we can cut the New Zealand. But Egypt, I know who it is. I don't know who's it from Netherlands. I don't know who's it from Australia either. Since we don't have like a huge fan base, we can usually pinpoint from where people are from. Damn, bro. And I started zooming. This is fun. Thank you. Yeah, Belgium. Do you know anyone from Belgium?
I don't think so, except for a few of my chocolates.
Canada. Can you almost the same amounts from the United States?
Wow.
Which I would think it's my friends from the United States, but like California makes sense. Florida, I have no one in Florida. Oregon, I think we know who this is. New Jersey, no one. South Carolina, nobody. Washington, no one. Yo, I don't know any.
Wow.
Hey, I have a United States population audience thing. That's fun. Also, by the way, I switched to Microsoft Edge.
Yeah, it's I don't want to go anywhere like controversial, but I would say it's better than Chrome.
Fam, when Sam first told me that he switched to Edge over Chrome, I was like, "Are you okay?" Because like, Edge comes from like a family of like Internet Explorer, so I was like, is this really a good choice? Because if you don't know, there's a new Edge came out, and like,
It came out quite a while ago, actually.
yeah. Well, I got to know. I mean, I've been using this Edge for what, almost a week, 2 weeks maybe. So it's made off of the same like API, was it?
Chromium.
Yeah, it's made off of the same thing, and you would be surprised how many similarities there are. Like the same exact Chrome extensions are also in here. So you would actually be wondering like, why would we switch to Edge over Chrome? But like, this thing is fast. Have you noticed that? It's like,
Yeah, it's really fast actually.
another, also along with that, I think this applies to you as, I don't know if it applies to you, but like, I have only like 2 cores in my CPU, so which means like the less CPU a program can take, the better it is. And personally, this thing takes about like two what do they call it? I remember seeing GB. I think this was RAM actually. I remember I tried a test and Google Chrome took 1.6 GB of RAM, and this only took like 1.4.
Huh.
And I'm pretty sure it's like way less load on the CPU as well, which is actually like, damn,
It's
Microsoft, you made me switch.
it's honestly better, especially for like streaming and stuff. Like there's wait, let me just tell you, it's when you're streaming, you need good amount of like computers, like sheer strength. Especially when you have stuff like Discord and like the actual game or whatever you're streaming. And then if you usually what I've seen with Chrome is that it gets really laggy. But with Edge, it's way less laggy. It's barely laggy, honestly.
And one, I can relate with you. I've tried streaming. All right, I just realized it's not meant for my computer. So you know the hype kind of died down. But another thing you've mentioned is how like reactively good this background shit is. You've mentioned before that in full screen it just looks like
Yeah.
vibrant. And you ain't wrong. Look at this.
It looks like a full-on complete OS, to be honest.
Exactly. I mean, why can't you make everything? I mean, I guess they're trying to, but in like Windows, like if everything looked this like, how would you call this? I usually call it soft. Like there's no hard edges. Everything's just so like aesthetic to the eye.
Clean.
Yeah, clean is a good word. Man. I know. Also, I don't realize this like one fact about the background. Why is this here? I'm not a big fan. If there were like a few random facts around, that fine. But like, why is this just one here?
No, for a few of them there's one or two, but like most of them have only one.
That's random, honestly. Damn. I've been getting a lot into technology, actually.
Really? What kind of technology?
It's just like, I realize my standards for technology are so much lower than everyone else in the world.
Really?
Like, I've been watching a bunch of, what's it? Damn, what's his name?
I don't think I would know.
No, you do know. It's, you know, the Will Smith in Rewind 2018. He kind of failed the guy's name. He said he wants Fortnite and
Marquez
yeah,
Brownie.
Marquez Brownlee. I've been watching a lot of his, and his is like 4 or like 8K footage and stuff, and his videos are just like crisp. All right, so I've been watching a lot of that, and I realized like everyone's so irritated from like when they put their hand on a computer or like a laptop. Will their fingerprints be on the laptop and stuff? And if you were to take a look about my laptop, it has dust. It has like weird like layers of dirt. I do not ever clean it. So I'm just here like, fam, what's my level of technology at this point? Like they're just like this has to be clean, and it's like it's so smooth and stuff, and I was like, very cool. And I actually want, look, this is one of the big topics I'm gonna get into, okay? And this ties in with like such a big topic, okay? It's just how I was going to make a YouTube video on like just living experiences between me living in India and the United States, all right? I just realized my audience is not like set for that yet, okay? It's not like the age group or anything. I'm like the demographic my audience is right now. But for research purposes, okay, I did some research, okay? And I realized the main difference between India and US is that India, 90% of people don't have individuality.
What do you mean? I don't really understand.
Like, listen, I feel this is a controversial topic, okay? But I feel the US is pushing the whole freedom of speech. Like, everyone has such different ideas. Here, India is so like I'm not talking like India is so diverse. I'm not talking about like I'm just talking about like the average Indian on whole, okay? They're so like brainwashed only by like Indian media sources. Like, they'll believe anything on Indian media. While we have United States who says the government's making up weather. So like that wasn't offensive, but like there are people out there who say that like the government's making up the earth is flat bullshit, but like do you realize
that
like,
was a terrible way to put it, but
I don't care if you're a flat earther. Don't talk to me, bro. That's so stupid. And that's what I realize is that if the Indian government says the Earth is flat, I can bet at least 40% of India is gonna believe it. Which is like just, I don't know. First when I heard this, I was like, damn, India was good. But then I realized, is that really a bad thing? Because we saw U.S. guests, like, I don't know if this is just like a trend. It's like you're just kind of flexing your freedom of speech to an extent. It's just like, I have this freedom of speech, so I'm gonna use it and I'm gonna say something so like common sensely dumb and radical and get like 5 people to say the same thing, and we're just gonna be like a cult. Do you realize the number of people who have such like, there's like anti-vaccine people who blatantly think vaccines will kill you. It will have like mental side effects on you and it will destroy you.
Do they see everyone else who's clearly living and having...
No. Who are you talking about, bro? We're just... Freedom of speech. Shut up. You can't say that to me. Yeah, so
that's kind of contradicting. I have this freedom of speech as well. I'll say what I want to you.
Yeah, but like at least at our point, it's like we're not... See, here's the thing. I need help on this. Is the Indian version better or is the American version better?
I don't know. I think there are pros and cons on both sides. I haven't really thought of it much, but like there's always pros and cons for both sides.
Yeah, but like which side has more pros?
I don't know.
Because I was always like, damn, like imagine we had a freedom of speech. I could just say whatever we want and shit. I was like, hey, that's actually pretty cool. Okay, and then I realized like they're pushing it of the free, like, I'm not saying don't remove the freedom of speech, like that's just kind of stupid, but like I mean I have freedom of speech and like I'm not completely like, you know, brainwashed by Indian media either, but like I mean I'm chilling. So this is one like key concept. Now here is where I'm gonna dive really controversial. So if this comes back to bite me like 7 years in the future, then R.I.P. dude. I'm sorry, but like. What I'm saying is here, okay? One big change between India and US. In the United States, this is how the government should be. I'm talking about governments here. In the United States, all the Americans, I'm saying this in such a bare term, so all the Americans decided, all right, we can't all just kind of try to govern everybody, all right? So we're going to put up a committee of people, okay? Who's going to serve us, and that's what they do. The president, the police officers, the judiciary, everything. So the government works for the people, like works under the people. In India, the government just stands superior to the people. You have no idea how controversial what I just said was, but straight up, they're standing above it, because I've been watching a bunch of like videos about like, you know how the whole trend of like police brutality has just become huge, right? So there's a bunch of news articles and news people who are just kind of like pushing the whole a lot of stories about like, you know, police just being like complete stupid people, all right? And I've watched one, okay, where the events happened so hilariously at this point as well, which really clicked into mind. There was this police officer on someone's private property, okay? And the police officer said, "Hi, what are you doing?" to like a doctor that pulled up. The doctor said, "Bro, what the hell are you doing here? Get the frick off my land." The police officer said, "No, how do I know this is your land?" And he said, "No, get the shit off of it right now, all right? Or I'm gonna have to like complain to your higher official." And the guy said, "What?" And they had like a huge fight. The doctor was like, "Get off my land now, or I'm calling higher officials." And the police officer was like, "Fine, I'm getting off." Damn, I don't think we've seen how many people who are not in India listen to this. I'm just gonna give you try thinking, if you said that to an Indian police officer, what the hell would happen to you? Just think about it. That guy will take out his stick and beat you to the floor.
Oh no.
And I'm not saying this to all police officers, okay? Police officers are the ones that are letting us stay safe. If someone robbed in my house, they're the only ones I can look up to. So I do not hate the police. But I'm just saying, the whole, like, everything is just kind of superior. Like for some reason, polices in India are just kind of like gods. They can do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. I've seen like a lot of people who kind of like fear the police.
A lot of people, like every single person, unless you are famous, like a celebrity, you're a politician, or you're a businessman, or you have a lot of money. These are the only like 4 ways that a police won't freak up with you major time. If you're an average Indian, damn, you better be scared of the police. They're not protecting you. They're just walking around like they own the place or some shit. Like, I don't understand that. It's why are they like just... And then I thought about it. And then I realized it's just the culture of what's okay and what's not is changing. The culture of like... You have to admit, India is way backward to any other modern country, such as the United States or United Kingdom or just Europe in total, okay? It's just a little like not developed yet. Yeah, it's getting there, but it's not there yet. So what you should see here is a lot of things that in India are okay now were once okay in the United States as well. But they've slowly matured, and there's so many things that are just not okay to do in the United States. Here, a police guy, if there's a criminal, this might be better. This is what I'm saying, dude. Like, I don't exactly agree with the Indian law or the government, but then again, it's just like it kind of works if you're looking from a basic, just don't give us any freedom point of view, which is another radical view. Okay, it's just if there's a criminal that blatantly killed a lot of people, but no one has any actual court presentable evidence. In India, the police officer will just go and beat that guy until he's bleeding, put him in jail, and then take him to court. In America, if you don't have any actual evidence you can prove in court, and if you're going to beat that guy down and take him to jail, that guy's going to sue you, and your entire police department's going to be fricked. Even though he's probably like a drug dealer, he can sue you and realize, dude, this guy had no warrant, no like official like court permissions to do anything to me. In there, the criminal procedure is the police can use as much force as possible to put you down to get you to arrest. And if you're not gonna restrain arrest, then they don't have to put any force on you. All the police's job there is to check if everything's okay, and if it's not, take him in handcuffs and put him to jail and transfer him to court. Here, for some reason, police are just like, damn, I'm the guy who's gonna murder all bad people here. There, they take them, they put them, and then they take them to court, and the court says 1 year, 2 year life sentence, whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something about the police people, and the point is, this is what I said about individuality. No one says, "Look at me, I am the one who's going to be the change, to change the culture." No one's saying that in India. In US, like everyone, every second, every like opportunity, yeah, you're trying to do a movement because a bunch of people will lack you up, and you realize the government's working for you. So technically, you got support. You're the one who's funding their salaries. Think about that. You're the one who's funding their salaries. Here, you're straight up paying your money so that it's like you're paying money to God. Straight up, I'm gonna say it like that. You're literally paying money to God. It just seems so like.
Now the thing, like the fear of police, it's not completely bad either. If someone's thinking about like doing drugs, not yet, but like doing drugs or like robbery or theft or something, then this like kind of fear of police will kind of like pull them back. They wouldn't try and consider it anymore because of like the fear of the police.
Yeah, but does that really outweigh like everything else that the police are doing? Like, I just feel that's like when I put it into that like setting of like, damn, we appointed them to take care of us, and they're not taking care of us. It doesn't seem right, does it? That's one thing. That's just another thing. I just said that out, okay, so that you guys could actually think of it. Like, take a second and just think about that for a second. Like, why is that like this in India, and how will it change? Now, the cultural shift in the United States, there's a lot of things that are coming up where just people are just like fam, you can't do that. Mass just like take that person down. He doesn't deserve to live, kind of things. We talked about this about racism and stuff. The number of things that have just become like, if you do this, the entirety of the internet or wherever you're doing this, the entirety of like your localization or your country will just hate you. There are these certain things where like if you do that, you're done. You won't get a job. Your life is ruined. In India, you can get away with doing so much, but there you just can't. Now I see that cultural shift because there's a lot of things that are just coming up these days. Okay, back when like all these racist jokes and stuff have all of a sudden after the Black Lives Matter movement, all of a sudden have just been amplified. So even the smallest of racist jokes is like, fam, you're getting canceled. So all of a sudden now people are finding clips. I think if you guys are into like the whole what's happening in the world and stuff, you guys would probably know these people who are making these racist jokes, who have made them maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, back when racist jokes were funny. All of a sudden people are finding them and like, bro, this guy's racist, and their lives are getting ruined now. Which I feel stupid, because think about it. Back then, they were okay. You made a joke, you made a racist joke back then, and back then no one gave a damn. Now all of a sudden, like I'm talking about the internet, because internet knows everything, all right? And all of a sudden now, when racism is just illegal, pretty much, all right? When you dig up that old footage, okay, of you saying a racist joke and put it all over the internet and say, look, this guy who we all believe, and he might be a politician, might be a celebrity, whatever he is, okay, look at him, he's making racist jokes. Like, now let's just all like strike against everything he does. It's just kind of like, are you supposed to, like, every time a cultural shift happens, you have to go through like your entire archives of your life in the internet and just delete everything like that? That seems just a bit stupid. What do you think?
Now that's something, if back then it was okay, and now you find that it's being like, it's upsetting the like entire society, then if you can, then try and kind of like remove it on your side. But if you can't, that it should still be okay, because it was done when no one cared, pretty much. And if someone's just looking all the way back then and saying, hey, this guy is being like racist, that doesn't really make sense, right?
This is the thing. It's just that I want to see your opinion on this. Say you were a celebrity, all right, and you were a comedian, for instance, all right. A lot of comedians' jokes are sometimes offensive, all right? They're like borderline offensive, okay? And say you're just having your good time, and a racist joke you did on stage, like you're a stand-up comedian, the racist joke you did on stage like maybe 15 years ago or something, back when like everyone was just laughing, comes up, and now you're just being hated on everywhere. What are you gonna do? Because if you were to remove that video, it's like you've accepted defeat, pretty much. So what would you do?
It's a difficult question, to be honest. First thing I would do, me personally at least, I would first like go and apologize. Then I would say, back when I said it, everyone was okay with it. That's why I said it. If it wasn't, I would never have said it. I wouldn't even have thought about it.
Damn, you're good at this.
So something around the lines of that. I don't know precisely what I would say, but it's like that. It would be like that.
I mean, it could work if you have a good like reputation, but if you have like a kind of like a, there's a lot of people on YouTube or just celebrities in general who do like just things that are just so borderline to like, if you step 1 foot over the line, you're gonna get like career ended. But as long as you can stay on this side of the line, you're gonna have the best career in your life. Would you take that risk?
I think I would, actually.
If you were to put 1 foot over, just a tiny slip, your entire career is canceled.
I think I think I would take that risk, but then before actually uploading it or like doing, like taking any kind of contract or anything, I would have like a small like review team or like someone who just kind of thinks about the choice I'm going to make. And if they say it's probably not good, then
But who would you trust to be that review team? Because someone could just be doing a lazy job.
I wouldn't just employ people I found like on the internet or something. I'd probably choose people who I know or used to know in real life. People who I know for a fact I can trust. Not just someone I met like 3 days ago or something like that.
I don't know. Just if you really want to stay so far off the line, you're gonna have like a damn good review team. You like better have such a good review team. So it's just like, I don't know, man. I can't make that decision because do I really push my? I feel you could still hit it big on YouTube if you're not so on the line as well. Like, there's a bunch of like YouTubers who I'm specifying to YouTubers here who make content like breaking into this, sneaking into someone's house or something like that, and that's so borderline. If they like do a trespassing lawsuit against you, you could get into some big trouble. So, I don't know. It's just like a here and there situation. I like how I'm just listing off topics. It's just such a harsh like change. But I just have so much things to say because how long we've put off this podcast. It's been so long since we did a podcast episode. Now this is where I actually wanted to get into this. Okay, it's what's happening around us with the quarantine and stuff. Overall, if you were to think about it, the entire quarantine, did it do good or bad for you?
Honestly, I think I would say good.
For me personally, it was the best thing ever. Now I'm trying not to jinx myself with this, alright? It could for the whole world on total, the quarantine was arguably one of the worst things ever. But personally for me, because I was in such a like moment where I never had to like was able to just think for myself or like what I'm doing as a person. And with this quarantine, I have the amount of boredom time I have where I can just think like, what am I doing honestly? Like, how do I make myself better? How do I make myself like, if I realize one of the most fun things to do is the ability to just strike up a conversation with whoever you find. Like, at what point why do you even need the internet if like any person you find, you can just have like one of the best conversations ever with? Like, I've been really working on trying to do that, and I've briefly mentioned it before, but in this quarantine, what I've learned is that you can, as a human, any human can easily strike up a conversation with anyone. Okay, and I was like, I could strike up a conversation with anyone, and I've been trying to do that. I think I've told you the art of communicating.
I think you've told me, but I think I've forgotten as well.
Yeah. The art of communicating says that when you're trying to talk to someone, they aren't just like a wall. You don't just say whatever you want to them and then not just zone out whenever they're saying something to you. Like most 90% of conversations just go, you say whatever you want to them, and they do not remember a single thing about that, and they just say whatever they want to you, and you don't remember a single thing about that, and now you just all feel happy because you said stuff to each other. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's actually very true. And then I thought about it, and when you say something to them, just this I think this is like the only thing like that really differentiates just speaking and communicating. When you say something and he says something back, just really think about what he's saying, what he or she, whatever the other person's saying. Just think about it, and you're like, and actually think about it, like, what are they saying? And once you realize what they're saying and really understand what they're saying, you're 100% gonna have questions about it. And when you ask those questions, ta-da, conversation. Seriously, like, if you just think about it, this 90% of the time, it's not communicating, it's just talking. So, I've really talked about, and then that kind of led to a topic, is just like, I'm saying that you can just anyone could talk to anyone. But then I was like, what about like those introverts? They're just like in the corner, just like, can I really talk to everybody? And I thought, no offense, but when I said introvert, I thought about you. But like, so and I was like, okay, so well, if I could talk to anyone, can he really talk to anyone? Will this work like this? And then I realized, no, that thought just kind of ended there. I was like, I don't really know, to be honest. All right. But then I realized something. The fact that, to be honest, there's no one called introvert in this world. It's just people who are extroverted will talk to anyone. People who are introverted will talk to only people who they want to talk to. If they don't want to talk to you, they're not going to talk to you. They don't want to talk to you. But if they can find the right people, they'll talk to them. And I was majorly like that, the second type, to be honest, until this quarantine. And now I realize, to be honest, everyone's fine, honestly, if you just kind of hit the right topic. So sure, let me talk to everyone. But the reason I found that out is because our weird, like, Discord cult thing that's going on, okay? Personally, you and me, okay, have not really connected with any other, like, big friends group, alright? So I haven't really, like, seen, personally, you, okay, I just kind of, how do you say this? Like, interacting with a big group.
I don't like to talk to, like, a bunch of people. But if I'm spoken to first, I will respond 100%.
This is exactly, and I didn't know that because I haven't ever seen you talk to a bunch of people. Okay, I was like, all right, so he's an introvert. Very cool. This is fun. All right. And then I realized when this cult thing happened, you're talking all the time, and I'm just like, he's not extroverted really, but he's not What is this? And then I realized this really no one is introverted. Everyone's just, the introverted people are just stubborn to who they talk to. Case solved. Yeah, that. I don't know. That was just like a random thing I just realized. I was like, damn. It's just like that. What do you think?
From my point of view, if let's just say when I'm in school, okay, there's a bunch of people who are just talking about, like, okay, this is gonna sound really bad, but like, it's true. There's just a bunch of people just talking about, like, bunking class and stuff, and I don't want to get involved because I don't want to get in trouble, so I don't speak to them at all. But if they were speaking about something else, like, I don't know, anything like video games or like sports or something, then I would probably go speak to them. It just needs to be something I would not regret. That's all.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, personally for me, whoever it is, I don't care. If they look bored and I look bored, then what else can we do except for talk, all right? This is ironic. Like, the time where you're not supposed to be interacting with people, I really want to interact with people. It gets really broken. And for me personally, like, I just want to talk to everybody at this moment, okay? Like, I really see the value in talking to people right when talking to people is pulled out, okay? So, you know, in your situation, okay, if they're talking about bunking class, then I would talk to them about bunking class, but I necessarily won't do it myself. If that makes sense. Like,
but what if someone complains, like, about you conspiring or something?
No, I'm not gonna be like, all right, so okay, so now there's this block and there's this block. Now there's this underground passage tunnel that we can all just sneak through. Like, nah, man. If they're talking about, like, bunking classes, this is the thing. If a bunch of people are talking about bunking class, I'm talking about, like, one-to-one interaction, like one person to person. If one guy, if I've seen him talk about, like, weird topics which I'm not interested in, okay, there's going to be at least one topic that we both are going to have in common. And if we can hit that topic, there's a lot of things that can come out of it.
Right.
What do you think?
I think in that particular topic that, like, you can kind of, like, how do I put this? Connect
Uh-huh.
to connect with them. That particular topic, there's like levels of skill
Uh-huh.
in that particular topic. Like for example, Minecraft. Okay, there's a lot of people who like Minecraft. Okay, I said like too many times. There's a lot of people who like Minecraft, but I wouldn't go and talk to anyone who likes Minecraft because their skill in Minecraft is really like
Bruh.
low.
Yeah, this is the difference exactly between introverted and extroverted people. It's just I personally, okay, would what time was that? 30?
Around 40.
Yeah, okay. I personally would, if the guy likes Minecraft, or if he doesn't like, if he's a Fortnite addict, okay, I'll go talk to him. Unless he's like already like mentally ill, then I mean, I guess I'm not at that level of extrovertedness yet, okay, but I'll go talk to anyone who's Minecraft, because I can at least relate to the person in Minecraft. Like, I don't need like a top level Minecraft pro dude to talk to. Like, if he knows how to craft a crafting table, then sure, let's talk about crafting tables. Why not? Yeah,
There's this certain expertise to crafting tables.
exactly. It's just you've got to know how to pick up the wooden planks and just spread them in like 4 slots.
You can make a really cool crafting table if you take 4 different pieces of wood and put them all in the
Yeah, and it's like an anti-racism pre-crafting table now. So like, yeah, why not? That's perfect. Damn. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird things that I find out. Yeah, that's something I've learned. What is like something you've like have you learned anything like just it's just stands out this quarantine, like damn, if this quarantine hadn't happened then I would not have known this and this would have been shit.
I haven't really had anything with that feeling. I haven't felt that.
So what makes this quarantine good for you?
The main thing of this quarantine that makes it better for me is that I have a lot of free time. Well, most of the time.
Yeah, but like what do you do in that free time?
Now, in that free time, I can make videos, I can stream, I can like do some art, like draw. There's so much stuff I can do that if the quarantine was not there, I probably wouldn't have the time to do. But then, like after online school started, that really kind of died off, to be honest. The quarantine wouldn't be special if during school, if I had enough free time, then this quarantine would be no different.
All right, that's a good point. Now another thing, all right. Earlier, okay, like a few weeks ago, okay, there was this one person, okay, on Discord who messaged me. He was one of my friend, mutual friend, okay. He said, "How can Sam come to your house when you're recording all the time?" I'm like, "He lives 20 feet away." And he's like, "Whoa, I thought you were brothers." I was like,
Oh.
well, that isn't okay. Fine, sure. But that just
I mean,
realized,
I'm honored.
I asked him like, why would you say that? And he said, "I don't know. You guys just think the same." And I was like, that makes sense. Okay, we agree on a lot of things. And oddly enough, from the second he said that, I've been just noticing just like the number of things we don't agree on, way more than things we do agree on.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't really thought about this actually.
School. You realize we had this debate.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I've to be honest, at a point like this, I've almost become like anti-school. Cause I personally, okay, our state, okay, what the high court of our state is saying that online classes should be stopped. Cause like 90, almost like what 60-70%, or maybe even 80% of India can't afford a laptop or a tablet, which makes me guilty. I have like 7 screens open here, but like, yeah, they can't afford any of this, and there's them who aren't having these online classes, and what their allegation is that it's not fair if we have these classes and they don't.
Right.
And so they put we don't know what High Court's gonna say, okay, but if it does, online school will not be a thing. The first thing I'll open will be physical school. Now, personally,
Like,
I think that is like the not best. It's like kind of radical, okay, but I think it's a really good thing because not everyone in their like forced 23 years almost years of education, they don't get just a random 1 year break to just kind of find themselves, which is actually a really good. It's a good thing even whatever age you're in. All right, it's especially good if you're like an early teen like us. Okay, it's perfect actually, to be honest, because we can just read, because this quarantine, I've told you, this made me such a better person. All right, so if we just had that 1 year where there was nothing, okay, yeah, you can have the agreement that we're gonna have to repeat a grade. I mean, sure, why not? But like, that's the counter argument you said, is that we have to repeat a grade. But don't you think just 23 years of just like no idea who you are as a person, just studies, and then after that, after the 23 years, then you find yourself along, but then you have like a bunch of responsibilities and just kind of balancing stuff? Or is it better just to have that 1 year of just time where you're just really finding yourself to make yourself one of the most effective people in the world, and then you graduate 24?
Now, repeating a grade, it's not something anyone wants, but like a 1 year where you don't have any school, it sounds good to me, but it just seems, it doesn't feel correct. It doesn't.
Yo, I can relate to this so much, because I actually have a part-time job now, because it feels cool. It's my first ever job, so like I'm feeling cool. But here's the thing, I feel homeless. No shit joke, I feel like I don't belong, because like look, I'm doing my homework, okay, I'm studying, but I haven't had that like proper school, okay. So that like one day where I'm not studying, I'm not doing homework, and I'm just working as a work person, I feel like a school dropout. And for some reason that just feels like I don't belong. Like it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just that feeling in you that's just like, dude, everyone's just getting a degree and just becoming like smart. I'm just kind of being like a school dropout who's just kind of like working. I don't know. I felt that, where I'm just like, I'm just doing this kind of like, it almost feels like kind of like a labor work, while like everyone else my age is studying. Like, that deep inside you kind of like stereotype of like you're kind of worthless if you don't have education. Like, even though I don't believe in that, it's just kind of like implanted in the middle of my brain, and that kind of like pokes me every time. But the second I go to school again, I feel like worthful again. And then the second I do this like actual work, I feel kind of useless again, especially when I'm not doing anything school related, which I feel at that point that's kind of creepy. Because the way I'm looking, I want YouTube and podcasting to explode, and I want me preferably not to go to college, which I don't know if I can handle now. It's a bit off.
College might be completely different though. Like, once school's over, the feeling of like graduation is probably let you not feel homeless.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people, like, because I've had a lot of debates of why you should not go to college. If you're being a doctor or an engineer, yes, you have to go to college. But like, if anything else, like, college is not a necessity. And a lot of people think like I hate college and I hate school in general. Like, you have no idea. Yeah, I hate the current school system. If you think this current school system is good, then you have completely lost it. But like, personally, I actually really, really, really like the idea of college, the university at least. It's just the whole, you're in control. Your life is not controlled by a bunch of bell timings and seated rows and raising your hand only to speak and just obeying blindly whatever the teacher tells you. You make decisions. especially the one factor of college that really points out to me, all the teachers give you is a project and a deadline. How you're gonna approach, you can either just sit at home and just look through. I'm talking about like actual like modern colleges. I don't know how colleges are in India. Okay, you can just look through the internet and for like 3 days get all your preparation material. Okay, and then go through the rest like 20 days they give you just playing video games and not moving out of your house. Or you could every day you could attend different seminars and lectures to try to educate yourself and do the project. And if you think this lecture is not good for you, just gonna walk out. Or you can read books in the library. You could do whatever. Here in school, all we can do is we have to listen to what the teacher says, and that's literally the only way we can learn. You understand what I'm saying, right? That's literally such a big and important point of why I actually love the idea of university and college.
I think it's the whole concept of freedom, to be honest. The more freedom you have, the more like correct it feels. But if you get that freedom at like the wrong time, then you could end up in the wrong place.
I feel freedom should be given since middle school. I feel freedom should be given since the start of school.
No, not complete. Not
freedom. Not like the
freedom
freedom I said. Don't give kindergarten. Say whatever you want to do. All right. Listen, I'm saying is the idea of freedom. Like the fact that there's bell timings just feels like you're in a prison. I'm not joking. Like, please, if anyone teachers are listening, please understand this. It feels like you're in a prison. All right. It feels like. I don't know. It's just like, do you not feel that like when someone said you have to sit in seated rows, as for us especially, wearing the same damn thing, it's almost leading to like an identity crisis at one point. It's just like everyone's just looking the same. Everyone has to look the same. Everyone has to act the same. Everyone has to like dress the same. Everyone has to stand the same way. Everyone has to like sit the same way. Everyone has to like line up the same way. Everyone has to follow the same rules. Everyone has to follow the same things. Everyone can only talk if the teacher tells you to talk. Like, god damn it, bro. Like, people are different. Not everyone's just the same human. Like, make them let them do what they want.
So yeah, I've seen or at least heard people who like say, "Oh, you're that guy from that school, right?" I'm like, don't just label me like I go to that school. Yes, okay.
I'm actually surprised people can recognize you out of the 3,000 people that go to school. You're like, oh, you're that guy. Because to me, if you were to just squint your eyes and just glance across, everyone just looks the same to me.
That's the point. They just look at you and say, "Oh, that's cool. That's a guy from that school," because everyone looks the same.
It's just like, dude. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. And this, I am serious about this. Okay, straight up, I want to make this a movement. I want to get this to the teachers. I want to get this to our school. I want to get this to every single school out there, because we're going through online schooling. All right, and this is overused topic, but I'm not supposed to tell you how online school is shit and like the pros and cons. Like, I'm not there for that. I have done a lot of research and come to one conclusion that not many people know about, and I want to make this change. I'll go as far as to actually like putting up protests for this. Okay, protests are probably not protest worthy, but like this movement has to go on. You don't even know what this protest is. This might be evidence to a few people like you, but I need to show you how important this is. And especially with our school, it's completely off. All right? I'm telling, if you are going to do online schooling, use online schooling as online schooling. Do not try to make online school like physical school. There are many things that are way better and way more effective on online school, okay, than physical school. And there's things that are so much better, like socializing and stuff, that are better at the level of just normal schooling, okay? There's a very big difference, okay? And do not mix them together. I am talking, please, if one of my, I'm going to make this a clip and I'm going to try to send it to one of my teachers, okay? Use online school of what it's worth, okay? Because listen to this, I'm going to give an example. Our school is doing co-curricular activities, and they are making us do virtual yoga, virtual basketball, while everyone just looks in a screen and dribbles the ball. That is not meant to be virtual, so do not make it virtual. I don't know if there's like a complete corporate side of view where they're just like, oh well, in our flyers we're saying we teach them basketball, so we're gonna teach them basketball. Imagine how much more effective it would be if we all could do some sort of group research or a debate. That is set and created for online schooling. And there's a lot of schools who do this, okay? But especially our school, we had virtual summer camp. You do not do that online. As much as you think it might work, it will not. I can guarantee that it will not work like that. So do not use online school and just mimic how real school should be. All right? I see this so many people, so many adults who say, okay, this online school times is almost like you have to follow the same schedule as real school. Okay, you're gonna have to study from this time to this time. Even my dad said it. My parents have said it. Okay, now we're up to school times. The vacation's over. Guess what? It's not. It's damn not. Because you know why? Because now I have so much more time after. Okay, if a teacher asks me something, okay, and I think the teachers are slowly trying to figure this out as well. Back in school, if the teacher calls on me, okay, and says, can you answer this question, or do you remember this topic? On a normal school day, I'll just stand up and just feel embarrassed because I don't remember it. And the teacher will just be like, geez, you don't remember it. How lame. Move on. Something else, alright? Now, as long as that might seem right, okay, and there's a lot of jokes that came out about, like, if someone asks you and you just go Google it. Guess what? I'll blatantly Google it in front of you. Because I think that's good. If you have the power to just Google it in front of them, why do you even have to remember it?
Exactly. That's what I've been thinking the whole time. There's always people saying, like, if you rely on Google too much, how are you going to do your exams? What is the point of exams then?
Exactly, mate. If you got Google to teach you everything you want, all right, and to show you, and I've shown you in class. If any of my teachers are listening, okay, I'm going to be blatant about this. I might get fricked. I don't care. 68%, that was a random number. Okay, let's round it up. 80% of the time, you know what? I'm going to say it. 80% of the time you ask me something, you call me on school. I have like 3 monitors. I am searching it up on the other monitor. I will say that to you, okay? I am searching it up on the other monitor. Whatever you've asked me, and I will answer, and you will say good job, and I'll feel proud. But guess what? Now I can do that. So why are you trying to make me remember it? Is it because of the curriculum? Is it because of like the book? And I've seen a lot of adults say this. What if you're stranded on an island and you don't have Google? Guess what? I don't need to remember biology terms when I'm stranded on an island. How about you teach us how to like actually survive with making a fire and survival tips instead of telling us how cells work? Because no teacher's gonna drag me to a deserted island and say, I will shoot you if you don't tell me what 3 cell structures are. Guess what? It won't happen. If it does happen, then thank you for teaching us. But guess what? It won't. And I don't know how to bet. I would say I'll give you $1 million, but I'm not that rich. But it won't happen. Okay? And if you say it will happen, then you're just delusional. Okay? It will not happen. So like, what's the point of it here? Like, have you ever like slowed down and thought, why am I teaching? What am I teaching? Like, what's the point of me teaching?
Like, for example, these biology terms, even if you don't learn them by heart and you find them like, if you find yourself necessary to actually know what they are, like, in the future, then you can actually just Google it.
Do you know? Exactly, but like a lot of people are always like, how do you know so much about video editing? How do you know how to set this up, okay? And stuff. And they all think like, I learned it, okay? Which I did. But guess what? If you were to ask me the certain terms of a vibrational frequency, okay? If you were to ask me, look, I know so much about video editing. I know about processing. I know about EQ filtering, whatever it's called. Okay, I know about all this stuff. Okay, as running a podcast, I would know so much about audio, but then I don't know the exact terms. Like I would still probably, unless I study, I would still probably fail on a sound quiz about frequencies and equilibriums and like amplitude and stuff, okay? Because guess what? I know so much about sound, but I don't need to remember those like topics. Because you know what? I can search it up in a second. And there I am studying. I am studying the chapter. Here I am learning the chapter.
Exactly. Now I've been watching this show called Sherlock, and and in the show, if anyone has watched it, you'll probably remember it. But in the show, Sherlock says he does not know that that the Earth goes around the sun. And he says what's the point of remembering that? It has nothing to do with my career. It has nothing to do with my life. I will remember what is actually useful, really useful, and what actually matters is the work. And if you think about it, it's completely true.
I mean, it's a radical truth, which a lot of people are just kind of hesitant to believe. But actually, though, like, damn, the Earth revolves around the sun. Unless you're becoming a scientist, how did that... This guy, especially a detective, he has to remember a lot of things, like, memorize on spot a lot of things. And if he's taking all his memory up by, like, oh, well, guess what? Sun goes that way. GG.
Exactly. What's the whole point of it?
I mean, it's damn broken, bro. So now, look, concluding my speech here, all right? Please try to research what is so much more effective on online schooling. Teach the kids how to use softwares and apps that are good at online schooling. Okay, there are so many apps. There are so many different, like, process. Like, I've learned so many utility applications that have made my life so much easier, and I'm actually teaching other children about it. All right, and they're thanking me. How about you guys do that? How about the schools do that? Okay, please actually try to, like, listen and understand. Okay, and see what you can do with online schooling. Okay. Try to find applications, not just because you need it. Like, I've seen so many teachers who turn on the webcam and write on a whiteboard.
Yeah,
No, there are so many more online school techniques for that. All right, and it will. A lot of people are saying, look, since we only have 4 hours of school a day, our syllabus is going to be slowed down. I think we can finish the syllabus faster and more efficiently, just because if we can use online schooling effectively, okay, it is way better than the 200-year-old just education system that we had in place for so long with no modernization or change. Now, here's the thing. I personally don't think my speech I just had here will have any actual impact. You know why? Because every single education school, just imagine it as like a bunch of tiles, all right, just connected to each other with a string, like going through each other. Every time someone like me, like a motivational speaker, says something, okay, one of them's like, okay, should we try to advance? He goes up. But guess what? Every other person's not going up. So that string is going to pull this tile back down. The second will go up a little bit, pull back down. And when a speech or a movement is so big, okay, a few of them will go up at the same time, and a few of them will come back down at the same time, okay? And now there's a few of them which want to go all the way up, okay? But the few of them are still sitting here. So they just kind of slowly pull each other and go halfway up.
Right.
And slowly just kind of like inch each other up, and they're slowly developing. Now, I feel a lot of school owners already know what I'm saying. Probably not this topic, because this just seems unheard of, okay? But the whole our education system is broken. A lot of people know about this, but just they can't do anything about it, because the second they try to make a radical change, all of a sudden no parent wants to enroll them in that school because it's so radical.
It's the whole concept of peer pressure, pretty much.
Exactly, because I mean, it's not bad on their side as well. My dad I've asked him, because he's such a radical speaker just like me, all right? He's just like, I said, why, since homeschooling is so much more effective, okay, so why are you sending me to school for like so much money? Then he said, if I had my choice, I would homeschool you. But 20 years down the line, if you're unemployed because you don't have a degree, and you come to me and ask me, why have I been homeschooled? I have no answer. And I don't want to be in that position. And I don't have a guarantee, because it's my responsibility to make you grow, to make you a good, like, stable human being. And homeschooling is not a risk I can take. Because millions of educational universities and stuff, it's a very not guaranteed path. Even though it might be more effective as you as a human being, even though so many things you can learn, okay, which will help you as a human being, you will not have money. The most basic thing, you will not have money. I mean, people might disagree. Okay, you could get money, but in the basic sense, okay, society will just not let you live properly if you don't have a good degree, and that's not something I could take. So that's why you're going to school, and that was one of the best answers I've ever heard, and that got me thinking in all sorts of ways. It's just like, damn, bro. It's just now that I think about it, my analogy works perfect. Our entire society is just a bunch of tiles connected with strings. Every time someone tries to go up, all right, we just yank them down. And slowly, after a few of them start pushing up and down and pushing down and up, like a few of them get dragged up, a few of them are pushing up really high, and they just kind of fall, and they slowly move up. But most of them, if they can just come to a conclusion and actually talk between... This is the thing. Societies don't have a set rule, okay? They're not like if you talk about community, okay? It's like a YouTube community, for instance, okay? These communities, there's no head of the community. It's just kind of like a communist thing, all right? That's just kind of going in. So when there's people like this, okay, there's no person who's going to broadcast it. Okay, all YouTube community members, listen up. It's like, there's no one like that. It's just, there's no like membership to the YouTube community. It's just like, if you're doing it, then you're part of the community. Hi. All right. And we both are. I don't know about you much about the YouTube community part, but I'm a big person of the YouTube community, and it's just kind of pushing it out there. So this is the thing, like, not everyone's in line with each other's thinking. So our society itself will not grow up unless everyone is uniformly going up, which will not happen, as I said, and which should not happen because everyone's different. Everyone has different thoughts. But I feel there should be just a place where people can communicate instead of just blurting out whatever they want, okay? People can actually talk to each other. People can actually understand their views.
Thing is, these days people don't have time. That's the problem. If everyone had enough time, then we could have probably like a semi-annual like gatherings or something, and
Exactly.
Everyone can like say what they want,
communicate.
what they want changed in the society and stuff. But the thing is, people just don't have time for that. They just have to do what they have to do, and like for their own livelihood, they're like to pay their bills, their rents, and all that stuff. They don't have time to actually change the community. That's the problem.
Very big problem. Now I feel this talk can go very far. We have a lot more to speak about on this podcast, all right? So that's really why I'm saying this, not because I can promote my brand. Seriously, it's a good idea to subscribe to the podcast, like an actual good idea. Because if you have something to share like this, message me, email me. There's Discord links, there's Twitter links, whatever you want. I'm active on all of them. Message me, okay? I can put your idea forward that I could probably get you on the podcast yourself. This is a platform where we express our thoughts, okay? Now, we got into a lot of deep stuff, and I got my biggest movement out there. So, guys, if you did enjoy today's podcast episode, please do consider actually liking if you're watching on YouTube, or subscribing if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on iTunes, Spotify, follow us. On iTunes, you can rate us 5 stars, which is still odd for me, but whatever. This podcast episode was also a really good podcast episode. But this is like just barely 10% of what I still have remaining. I have a lot of things to talk about, and hopefully we can get there. So, guys, that was a good podcast episode. How far did we get in? Like, what? Almost 1 hour? It's a good level. Anyways, anything you want to say?
That's about it, actually.
Yeah, catch you guys later. Peace.